Just to close off, I would like to do the same as we've done after the previous tryouts, to just briefly share with each other what we've done in the various sessions, and some feedback from the participants would be great as well. So maybe starting from the back side this time?
Yes. So we had a very interesting session in 2 groups here, and then we had the groups together to discuss together, and then you see that some ideas were similar and some ideas were new, and maybe new ideas came out when the group was working in 7 and not 5. But we could arrive at, let's say, 5, 6 business model concepts on how to change. Some of them were even spanning the boundaries of business models and changing technology, or the reinvent strategy that we have in here. And the most interesting part, in my opinion, of this discussion is that it was very easy to have a conversation that goes beyond business models. And many times we touched product design topics, or changes in the value chain, or changes in how to close the loop technical solutions, which really shows what the business model tries to do, which is seeing the systematic view, and it really needs all the other work packages working together. So it was very nice.
Thank you. Some feedback from the group? Anything that you're taking away from today?
I think it was great discussions.
Yeah, very well summarized, so I think.
Anything that you're taking away from that to use in your own companies, maybe? Inspiration for?
I think most businesses need to rethink their business models in the short or longer term. So I think for most businesses it's very important.
It could be a good tool to sort of involve the whole company, because often this sustainability guy is coming with the new ideas, and it needs to be integrated and create ownership with other parts of business as well. So this could be a good tool for creating some understanding of change.
And also the part that we didn't have time to do shows how, like, we had one idea where it was complete dental care, but then we would probably have to start somewhere else, but it would, like, if you already had a plan of evolving into that stage, you know how to change already today, which I think is very interesting for a lot of companies.
Thank you so much. How about this?
Yeah. Yes, I thank the group very much that they were open to a discussion about a product that we basically agreed is not the most sustainable to start with. But we were discussing several reuse and remanufacturing and recycling options, and we came up with quite a list that we can imagine that's possible. And we went through these areas: feasibility, viability. What do we have to put it in place organization-wise, and what are the legal requirements regarding this? And discussed or touched some of the points, and also discussed what is how a life cycle perspective can contribute to identify what are relevant purposes or perspectives or parts along the life cycle. And yes, we came up with quite a few options, and tried to analyze this a bit further, and what are advantages and disadvantages, where is the need for more information regarding this. And we quite fast also ended up saying that, of course, recycling and reuse and remanufacturing is possible, but it also needs to be combined with appropriate design criteria for the next generation, and with ideas how to put that into a new business model. And that we even came up with repurpose. That's something that you can also do. Quite nice. Thank you all very much.
Great, thank you. Some feedback from the group? Anything that struck you or that you will remember when you go home? Yeah?
I think it's important to be curious and just have ideas, what if, think out of the box, and maybe also have some a bit crazy ideas, and that could give you some ideas, you know, that you haven't thought of, you know. Yeah, so yeah.
Anything else from the group?
I like that idea, and that was your idea, to screen each product. I mean, we're talking about electronics, they have to be returned, right? So screening or scanning, yeah. And then you can check how it looks, because it's hard to take apart. Good idea. As a starting point, yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. Great. Last group. So, first of all, the first part we spoke about some of those inspirational cases and the examples of where rethinking existing relationships, but also where new partnerships outside of the existing value chain and maybe the creation of new entities creates new opportunities for circular economy and value creation. And then we talked a bit about the process of finding those partnerships, and we had a little tryout of one of the tools early or used early in the process. So we created this, so we just did a partial mapping of 3 stakeholder groups. So we looked at customers, the environment, and partners and suppliers, and specifically retailers and suppliers of parts to us, the electronic toothbrush manufacturer. And we looked at where value is currently captured, what value is missed and destroyed for those different stakeholders, and what value surplus and absence there is, and where that can be translated into value opportunities for those different stakeholders, and where that then is in line with or synergistic with our objectives, what we want from a circular solution. And the case that we assumed that we were working with, or that we were interested in, is in the creation of a return system to try and capture the end-of-life value of some of the materials, and particularly the metals in the electronic toothbrush. And so we went through some of that. How was that for you guys? Some feedback from the group. Anything that you will remember going home because you found inspiration?
It's another tool that can be used for developing the business model for each company. It's part of the ecosystem. It's a bit overused, but if you look at the big picture in the transformation, this is definitely a good tool for companies to see, okay, if we go circular, how does it affect our income? How can we rethink our products and our services? And actually, if we look at some of the suggestions we had, you have additional ways of getting more income, even in some cases, maybe not with a toothbrush, but certainly a broad array of products.